All right, let's be honest, we've all been there, haven't we? Clocking in, dreaming of that paycheck and wondering if there's more to life than this. But have you ever stopped to think about the people who are stuck in those jobs, the ones that barely pay the bills, the ones that society often overlooks? We're talking about the backbone of Britain, the grafters, the ones who keep things ticking over. From the moment you grab your morning coffee to the minute you tuck yourself into bed, chances are you've encountered someone working one of the UK's lowest paid jobs. Today, we're shining a light on these essential workers, delving into the realities of their day-to-day and asking the big questions. What does the future hold for them? Will their jobs even exist in a few years? Let's get stuck in. First up, we're heading straight to the heart of the service industry, hospitality. It's a world that never sleeps, always buzzing with activity and filled with people who are dedicated to making your experience memorable. Think about it. Those lads and lasses pulling pints at your local, always with a smile and a friendly word, making sure your glass is never empty. The ones rushing around with plates piled high in restaurants, balancing them with the skill of a circus performer, ensuring your meal arrives hot and just the way you like it. And let's not forget the cleaners working through the night to make sure everything's spotless for the morning rush. They are the unsung heroes, making sure the environment is pristine. They're the engine room of this industry, and let me tell you, it ain't always pretty. The kitchen can be a pressure cooker, with everyone working at breakneck speed to keep up with orders. Hospitality workers are some of the hardest working people out there. They juggle multiple tasks, often under immense pressure, and still manage to keep a smile on their faces. They're on their feet for hours, dealing with demanding customers. Trust me, I've met a few in my time. And often working late nights, weekends, bank holidays, you name it. Their dedication is truly remarkable, all for minimum wage if they're lucky. It's a tough gig, and the financial rewards often don't match the effort they put in. And don't even get me started on the tips, or lack thereof. Many rely on these to make ends meet, but it's not always guaranteed. It's a disgrace, frankly, how some people treat those who are just trying to make a living. A little kindness can go a long way. A smile and a thank you go a long way, people. It can make a world of difference to someone who's had a tough shift. Now you might think, well, anyone can pour a pint or clear a table, but there's more to it than meets the eye. And you're right to a certain extent. The basic tasks might seem simple, but doing them well requires skill and dedication. There aren't any fancy qualifications needed to get a job in hospitality. It's an industry open to many, offering opportunities for those willing to work hard. But let me tell you, it takes a certain kind of person to do it well. Someone with a genuine passion for service and a knack for making people feel welcome. You need patience, a good sense of humor, and the ability to plaster on a smile, even when you'd rather tell someone where to stick their complaint. It's a tough balancing act, but here's the thing. Technology is changing the game. The rise of automation is reshaping the landscape of hospitality. We've all seen those self-service kiosks popping up in fast food joints, and you can bet your bottom dollar that more automation is on the way. It's a sign of the times. So where does that leave our hospitality heroes? It's a question that weighs heavily on many minds. Well, the truth is it's a mixed bag. Some see it as a threat, while others view it as an opportunity to focus on more meaningful interactions with customers. On the one hand, those repetitive, low-skilled tasks are ripe for automation. This could free up staff to engage more with customers, enhancing the overall experience. Right, let's talk about care workers. These individuals are the backbone of our healthcare system, often working tirelessly behind the scenes. These are the people who look after our elderly and vulnerable, ensuring they receive the care and attention they need. They're the ones who change bedpans, offer a listening ear, and provide a comforting presence. They provide companionship to those who need it most, often becoming like family to the people they care for. They're the unsung heroes of our society, and frankly, they deserve a bloody medal for their dedication and hard work. I've spent time with care workers all over the world, and I've seen firsthand the incredible work they do, often in challenging conditions. They're dealing with complex needs, often with limited resources and time, and they do it all with compassion and dignity, never losing their patience. But here's the kicker. They're often paid minimum wage, if that. It's a stark contrast to the value they provide. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's a disgrace. It's high time we recognize their worth. These are the people who are caring for our loved ones, making sure they're safe, comfortable and well looked after. They deserve to be paid a decent wage, not treated like second-class citizens. Their work is invaluable. And it's not just about the money, it's about respect and recognition for the vital role they play in our society. Care work is emotionally and physically demanding. It requires a unique blend of skills and empathy. You're on your feet all day, often dealing with challenging behavior, and you're constantly under pressure to meet the needs of those in your care. It's no wonder that there's a high turnover rate in this sector. The demands are high and the rewards are often too few. People are burnt out, undervalued and underpaid. This is a recipe for disaster in a sector that is so crucial. But here's the thing, the demand for care workers is only going to increase. We need to address these issues now. We've got an aging population and more people are living with chronic illnesses. The need for care workers is growing. That means we're going to need more people to care for them, and we need to start treating those people with the respect they deserve. It's time to take action to ensure that care workers are valued, respected, and adequately compensated for their essential work. Let's give them the recognition they deserve and make sure they know just how important they are to all of us. Right, let's talk shop literally. The world of retail is a bustling, vibrant place full of energy and life. Retail assistants, the friendly faces greeting you at the door, always ready with a smile and a warm welcome. The ones patiently explaining the difference between a size 10 and a size 12. Helping you find that perfect fit. The ones scanning your groceries at lightning speed, ensuring you get through the checkout quickly and efficiently. They're everywhere, but are they valued? Not so much. Despite their hard work, they often go unnoticed. Now, I've worked in shops myself, stacking shelves, making sure everything is perfectly arranged, working the tills, handling cash and card transactions, the lot. It's not rocket science, but it's not a walk in the park either. It requires patience, attention to detail, and a lot of stamina. You're on your feet all day, constantly moving, rarely getting a moment to sit down, dealing with customers, some lovely, some right terrors, each interaction requiring a different approach and constantly under pressure to meet targets, sales goals, inventory checks. It's a never-ending cycle. And for what? Minimum wage, if you're lucky? Often the pay doesn't reflect the effort put in. Now, I'm all for hard work, but there's got to be a decent reward at the end of it, right? A fair wage for a fair day's work. Retail workers are the backbone of our high streets, the lifeblood of our shopping experience, but they're often treated like they're disposable. Zero-hour contracts, minimum wage and little appreciation, and little to no job security. It's a raw deal, frankly. The uncertainty can be overwhelming. And here's the thing, the future of retail is changing faster than a runaway shopping trolley. Online shopping is booming, transforming the landscape, and those self-service checkouts are popping up everywhere, reducing the need for human cashiers. Don't get me wrong, I love a bit of online shopping myself. The convenience is unbeatable, but we can't ignore the impact it's having on jobs. Traditional retail roles are disappearing. So where does that leave our retail assistants? Their future seems uncertain. Well, it's a tough one. Some shops are adapting, offering more specialized roles, focusing on customer service, providing a personal touch, and creating experiences you can't get online. Interactive displays, in-store events, these are the new trends. But others are struggling to keep up, unable to compete with the convenience of online shopping, and that means job losses, stores closing down, employees left without work. Now, I'm not saying we should all boycott online shopping. It's here to stay, and head back to the high street en masse. But we need to find a balance, a way to support our retail workers while embracing the future. Right, let's talk about the unsung heroes of hygiene, the ones who keep our homes, offices and public spaces sparkling, clean cleaners and domestic staff. They're the invisible workforce, often working behind the scenes, but trust me, we'd notice if they weren't there. Now, I've been in some right states in my time, let me tell you, but I've always had a deep respect for cleaners. They're the ones who deal with the mess, the grime, the things that most of us wouldn't touch with a barge pole, and they do it all with a smile, often for minimum wage and little recognition. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to clean up after a load of strangers, let alone for the pittance they're often paid. It's back-breaking work, often involving harsh chemicals and long hours, and it's about time they got the respect they deserve. And it's not just about cleaning toilets and emptying bins. Domestic staff often provide emotional support to the people they care for, especially if they're working with the elderly or vulnerable. They become companions, confidants, and friends, all while keeping things spick and span. But here's the thing, technology is changing the game. We've got robot vacuums, self-cleaning ovens, and all sorts of gadgets that promise to make our lives easier. But can they replace the human touch? I'm not so sure. Sure, a robot can hoover the floor, but can it clean behind the toilet? Right, let's get down to earth, literally. Agricultural workers, the backbone of our food supply chain, the ones who put food on our tables, the ones who brave the elements to keep things growing. They're the unsung heroes of the countryside, but are they valued? Not so much now. I've spent time on farms, and let me tell you, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's hard graft, often in challenging conditions. We're talking early starts, long hours, and back-breaking work, all for minimal pay. Think about it: picking fruit and veg, tending to livestock, operating machinery. It's physically demanding and often dangerous work. And yet, agricultural workers are among the lowest paid in the UK. It's a raw deal, frankly, and it's not just about the pay. Many agricultural workers are on seasonal contracts, which means no job security. They're at the mercy of the weather, the markets, and the whims of their employers. It's a precarious existence, to say the least. But here's the thing, we need agricultural workers. They're the ones who produce the food we eat, the clothes we wear, and the materials we use every day. Without them, our entire way of life would grind to a halt. Now, I'm not saying we should all pack up and head to the countryside to become farmers, but we need to start valuing the people who do this essential work. So there you have it, a glimpse into the lives of the UK's lowest paid workers. We've met the hospitality staff keeping the service industry afloat, the care workers looking after our loved ones, the retail assistants navigating the changing face of shopping, the cleaners and domestic staff maintaining hygiene and order, and the agricultural workers feeding the nation. These are the jobs that often go unnoticed, the ones that are often taken for granted. But the truth is, they're the backbone of our society. They keep things running, they care for our loved ones, they put food on our tables.